Hey guys, Jonah here. I'm back doing a special Christmas beer review. I thought I might as well do this before I go back to work, basically, which is terrible. But my Christmas stroke New Year's time off has kind of come to an end, so it's really sad. But I know you've seen this in the background for quite a few reviews, but I thought I would finally do this one. Canterbury Cathedral Ale. Um, and it says Canterbury Cathedral is the official seat of the Archbishop of Canterbury and architecturally one of the most splendid cathedrals in Europe. Renowned for where Thomas à Becket was murdered, some would say killed. Also has historic tombs of Henry IV, Edward the Black Prince, and it houses some of the best 12th and 13th century stained glass, and also it has a fantastic new statue of Queen Elizabeth, which is quite cool. And this is sorry, I've still got my cold, which is annoying me to no end. It's Goody's Ales that brewed this one, and they're in Herne, which is above Herne Bay, but not as high as Herne Hill, where it's halfway up the hill. It's an amber bitter, 4.1%, bottle conditioned, naturally produced in Kent. And yeah, there's some of the old monks. I don't know if they if the monks actually brewed beer at Canterbury. I'm sure they did, but I don't know if it was one of the well-known places. And let's see if it'll focus on there. It is a SIBA, winning craft brewer. Goodies. Goody gums. And I'm also using my Canterbury tasting glass. This is from the Foundry, which is not the same brewery, but it's Canterbury. Oh yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Drew Beecham and his mum, because randomly I sent him a message. Can't remember exactly what it was. I usually write one-liner, usually jokes to people, but he replied, and he basically said, "Yeah, me and the mum will come to Canterbury and drink some Canterbury beers." So, Shimon, this is going to be a good example for you. Although Herne and Herne Bay strictly aren't in Canterbury, but they definitely come under Canterbury Council, and the cathedral is 100% in Canterbury. Oh, I better do. Let me see if I can get rid of some of these bubbles. A quick tap on the table should do that. And let's get that round that way and that way. Move that way slightly. And I've just noticed my bonnet is sticking up. That's what happens when you get a bit bald like me. Your bonnet flies about and does weird stuff. There's nothing you can do about it. So it is one of those things. So, you can see my ugly mug through there. Very, very clear. Really nice level of carbonation. Half a finger's head if I'm being generous. I don't think that will hang around for too much longer. And it's not pearly white, it's sort of off white, just off. And this, I know already, is going to be a proper dishwater brew. When you're inside, because it's blowing a squall outside, which it is, 40-50 mile an hour, up to 80 mile an hour tonight, on New Year's Eve. Great. Cheers, guys. Oh, lovely. It's called an amber ale, but I would definitely call that a bitter. 4.1%. Oh, nice and malty with quite a bit of bitterness. And because of where this is from, I really would not be surprised if this has got East Kent Goldings in. Although I'm not getting that usual kind of fruitiness that East Kent usually gives. Maybe it's more of a Fuggles kind of thing going on. A bit more earthy, a bit more spicy. Who knows? Let's dive in for some more. Oh, lovely malt taste, good amount of bitterness, but it's all mellow. Oh, this is the sort of beer that you can drink quite a lot of, sit at a local traditional old pub, even though I'm upstairs, regulated. Regulated? What am I saying? Don't know what I was thinking there. Sitting in a pub, reminiscing, talking to old friends, talking lots of nonsense, setting the world to rights while drinking a traditional pint of dishwater. That is what this is. See if I go for a bit more of an aggressive pour, can we force a little bit more head on this bad boy? Is it going to fit everything in 2 glasses? Yes, it is. Cool. And apparently this tasting glass is a half pinter, and that is a 500 milliliter bottle, even says on there, which is really, really good to see. Look how clear that is. Really, really good, man. And I like it when you get a beer that's got a bit of backbone, a bit of breadiness, a bit of maltiness to it. And is more of sort of traditional kind of cask or bottle conditioned, in this case, style beer. Everyone is all about IPAs, and I'm getting into the IPAs. I used to not like IPAs really, but I'm really getting into them. But every now and then, going back to a nice traditional bitter, English bitter, or in this case, it's an amber, but it's a pint of bitter in my book. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it just reminds me of times gone by, and craft beer has been around for a long, long time. But there's something about a traditional beer that's not a lager, traditional ale made in traditional ways. Perfect in my book. Oh, lovely, lovely, smooth bitterness. It's nothing 100% amazingly special. So a pint of maybe Directors or a pint of London Pride, although they're a little bit stronger. Very similar style beers. A little bit watery, this one. You do get from the hops, you do get a little bit of kind of mouth quenching bitterness. So it does clean your palate a little bit. But that way you can drink more. The only thing probably missing is a packet of pork scratchings, or even maybe some, pardon me, maybe some salted nuts on the side that you can delve into, just to give you something for your stomach. Uh, I've had a few crisps today for my breakfast because it's still holidays, isn't it? I shouldn't really. But But yeah, something to soak up a little bit of that alcohol, and it's not even that strong anyway. So you could do a couple of pints of this um, before coming home from work or whatever. It reminds me of good times in Canterbury as well. Um, the Canterbury Brewers and Distillers. Really, really good place to visit. If you can, I would definitely say try and stay within the city wall. A bit more expensive. Restaurants and stuff are all expensive, but you're paying for that whole Canterbury experience, which is really, really cool. If you're in one of the villages on the outside, Faversham is another one. Faversham is the market town nearest, I guess you'd say, to Canterbury, the nearest large market town anyway, being horrendously built on both these places. And it won't be that many years. Hopefully I'll be dead before then, but I very much suspect they will join together into kind of one conurbation when all these new built houses are finally built, which is crazy. But there's still a lot of farming, a lot of things to see, a lot of trade. They still grow hops as well. Not in a vast amount, but they still grow hops. Not in the city centre, but on the outskirts of Canterbury, and definitely in Faversham too. And you can buy local beers made with local hops and local grains, which is what it's all about in my book. Yeah, okay, you can get hops from Yakima Valley, you can get hops from Australia, from New Zealand, from South Africa, you get hops from around the world. But there's something to be said about having a local pint of traditional beer from literally down the road from where you live in the traditional manner. It's absolutely genius. Anyway, guys, if you've liked this video, please consider clicking like, subscribe as well to Unclejona's channel. You'll see me drinking a lot of beer, very much like I am this one. But thank you for letting me into your... For fuck's sake, this cough is really bugging me. But yes, thank you for letting me into your computer, onto your phone. Thank you for letting me speak to you directly, because I am actually talking to you, the viewer, even though I'm waxing lyrical about really lovely beers such as this. Anyway, cheers and beers, guys. We'll see you real soon for more beer reviews, and cheers. 2023 is going to be a good year for beer.